District Attorney charges two former Abita Springs employees who were the subjects of several Fox 8 investigations with embezzling public money. Stacy Ludlow and Ricky Young were formally charged today. The charges come after Fox 8 found that Ludlow, the town's former finance director, ran up charges for items such as a mattress, clothing, shoes, spent thousands of dollars with online food delivery apps. We found that Young, who was the public works supervisor, ran up charges on his card at home improvement stores and eBay. Ludlow is faced with a charge of theft of over $25,000, money laundering over $100,000, and malfeasance in office. Young is charged with theft over $25,000. Arrest warrants have been issued, and we'll have more on this breaking story tonight on Fox 8 News at 9 and 10.